Have you ever reached a point where you're just done with the way things are and start craving a change? That's exactly where I am right now. And because of that, I've decided that my word for 2026 or my theme for 2026 is reinvention. And I don't want to wait until January, so I'm starting right now. But I'll be honest, I don't know exactly what this reinvention is going to look like. I've thought about small, more cosmetic changes like a new self-care routine or eating differently or changing up my wardrobe. But I have also thought about massive changes like selling my horses, or the thought of selling the ranch has also even crossed my mind. But at the end of the day, I know it's probably going to land somewhere in the middle. I'm just not super clear where. And that's why I'm launching this Reinvention Series. A messy, honest, step-by-step exploration of changing for the better. No perfect plan by any means, no pressure, just showing up, trying things, and sharing what actually works for me. Just got home from work and I'm trying to hustle so I can get outside to play with my horses for a bit. We did have time change this past weekend, which means I now have an hour less daylight to do things in the evenings, on top of the days obviously getting shorter and shorter every passing day. It is also hunting season here in Alberta now as of November 1st. And we did give the neighbor kid free reign of our corridor to hunt. So just to be on the safe side, I'm just gonna stick to the arena for basically the rest of winter. Just don't want any accidents, and the animals tend to be a little bit crazy this time of year as well. So we're just gonna stick to the arena for now. And hopefully I don't freeze. I feel like November hit and it's like, we're not just crisp fall air anymore. We're like, you need to be mindful about your clothing decisions now because it is chilly. So let's head outside. I didn't film a whole lot while I was out with the horses because it was cold and my hands are frozen. My face is cold, but we're in the house. I'm gonna make some stuff for food for tomorrow at work. So I thought I would show you guys. One of the things I've been taking to work lately is overnight oats, and it is so dang good. So I have to share. So I'm gonna show you how I make my overnight oats. This is the lineup for what I use. So we've got just quick oats, protein powder. I'm using frosted sugar cookie from PE Science. I use unsweetened almond milk, some peanut butter, plain Greek yogurt, and I put all kinds of random fruit. For tomorrow I'm going to use sliced strawberries, and this is also flax seeds, which I'll ground up half a tablespoon and put that in as well. I start with strawberries, some oats, and this is the meal, just for reference, that I eat after a couple hours after my workout. So it's a good all-rounded meal that keeps me full for the morning. I'm gonna do some protein powder, Greek yogurt. And then to do my peanut butter, to measure it out, I put my peanut butter on, zero out the scale, and then take out how much I want. Okay, now I've got my ground flax on there as well. And the last thing is my almond milk, which you could use cow's milk and stuff too. I just don't really like cow's milk, so I use almond milk. I'm just gonna mix it all up, which takes a little bit. And like I said, you can put all kinds of different fruit in there. I'll do all kinds of random berries. I've done mango, I've done pineapple, peaches. And it's usually frozen fruit that I'm using because it just lasts longer and tastes better than the fresh fruit that we get in Canada, especially as we go into the winter here. During the spring and summer, I'll use fresh berries, but this time of year, we're going frozen. And I'll let it sit in the fridge overnight, and then I'll be ready to take with me to work in the morning. Part of my reinvention will, of course, involve health and fitness. I've been very consistent with my workouts throughout the years, but I am a little embarrassed in that despite how many years I've been working out, I don't have a ton of muscle and I'm not really that strong. And I think it's from being more focused on aesthetics as opposed to performance. I've spent so many years chasing that bikini bodybuilding look, and to be honest, it's probably held me back more than it's helped me, and it's likely done more harm than good. So part of my reinvention is going to be me focusing on performance and health and becoming the fittest, most athletic version of myself. I do have a coach that is helping me with this, and right now I'm in a caloric surplus, so I'm intentionally gaining a bit of weight, and we are going through a strength phase with my workouts. So I'm very confident that I'm on the right track with this part of my reinvention, and I am very excited to make this part of my reality, being super fit, super healthy, and super athletic. Good morning. I am working from home today because we're getting some stuff done on our house, so I need to be here to let them in and all that good stuff. But I feel like there's something that we need to chat about, so we're gonna have a little bit of a sit-down chat right now. Several weeks ago, I was actively posting here on YouTube, chronicling my journey with 75 Hard. I think I got up to posting week 6, and then it just stopped. And I've had a couple of people reach out asking like, hey, what happened with the challenge? Can you kind of fill us in? So time to fill you guys in. When I first started 75 Hard, it was great. I honestly, it was not that difficult for me. Prior to starting 75 Hard, I had a regular workout routine. I was eating healthy. I would normally drink lots of water. So to start the challenge, I had to fit in a few additional things, but it wasn't a huge stretch for me. And I think even in the first few videos that I posted following my 75 Hard journey, I literally said that the 75 Hard challenge is not a challenge for me. And I was being completely truthful. That was true story. It was not a challenge for me. But I feel like as we got further into the challenge, a month went by, things started to take a downward turn. I noticed that I was getting super tired. I did not have the energy to do the things that I would normally do. I didn't have the desire to do a lot of the things that I would normally do. I was irritable, and just there was red flags going up that should have signaled some warning signs to me, but I just kind of pressed on because it's a challenge and it's supposed to be a little bit hard. But at the very beginning of September, so I think that was a little bit over a month into the challenge, we had to put our dog Sadie down, and that was incredibly challenging. I did not realize that was going to have such an impact on me as it did, but she was basically a part of our family. So that was very hard. So the combination of the red flags that were already up, plus now dealing with the death of my dog, it was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. I didn't quit the challenge right then and there as soon as we put Sadie down. I did push through for a bit longer, and that was for a few reasons. One reason was, at that point, I think I was already halfway through the challenge, and I was like, I've made it this far, I might as well keep on going. Like, it would be a shame to quit now, kind of thing, right? Another thing was YouTube. I was documenting my journey on YouTube, and I didn't want to come across as some sort of failure or something on the internet that I wasn't able to complete the challenge. Like, I guess what other people would think did play into whether I wanted to quit or not. And on top of that, I feel like I did not identify as someone who would quit 75 Hard. I really wanted to be that person, that kind of person who would successfully complete 75 Hard. I'm very disciplined. I'm very, into the health wellness. I'm an active person, health conscious. Like, I am the kind of person that should be able to successfully complete 75 Hard. And so all of this was playing in my mind and trying to persuade me to not quit the challenge. And it was a very difficult decision to make, but especially with the death of my dog, it gave me some perspective that a silly online challenge is very low on the priority list in terms of like time spent with family and health. Health was the big thing. And that was the reason I quit 75 Hard, is because it was very detrimental to my health. And it turns out that making that decision to quit was a very good decision. Since I stopped the challenge, my energy has gone way up, my mood has improved, I feel like the world has opened up to me again. Instead of being in this world or this box of 75 Hard where I'm just so hyper fixated on the tasks that I need to get done in a day, like, the world has opened up. So like, there's so much more opportunity when you don't have those insane to-dos on your list every single day, and that pressure of, if I am not 100% consistent, then I'm a failure. Not having that has been a huge weight off my shoulders. And yeah, like I said, quitting the challenge has been a very good decision. And I wanted to share that just because I feel like 75 Hard and being so disciplined in order to complete the challenge is very much glamorized on the internet. But there are those of us out here who do not successfully complete the challenge, and it's not because we're weak or undisciplined. There could be a multitude of reasons why someone cannot successfully complete 75 hard. For me, like I said, it was my health. And I've actually had a few people reach out and say like, hey, 75 hard did the same thing to me. It completely tanked my health. Like, you're not alone. And hearing that was nice to hear, and it made me feel like less of a failure. So I just want to say, if you're doing 75 hard and you're noticing red flags with your health, like, listen to your body. You do not need to finish this challenge. Or if you did quit the challenge already and you're feeling like a failure for doing so, please know that you're not. Like, it's an online challenge. I know we like to take it seriously, but it's not that serious. It's not that deep. It's not life or death. It's okay if you quit 75 hard. I can't believe I have to say this, but we do. It's okay to quit 75 hard. And one last thing that I just wanted to touch on before we wrap up is I've been reading this book, The Pivot Year. It is a book and I have been reading it, but it's one small entry a day that you read. And there was one a few days ago that I just wanted to read because I think it's so applicable to this. So this was on day 15 in the pivot year. So it says, declare, I will no longer participate in my own suffering. If I have not one other friend in this world, I will be my own most loyal companion. I will not turn my back on myself. If I am loved by a dozen and not one, I will not focus undue attention on gaining the love of that one. I will speak to myself with compassion. I will not spend my life engaging in things that can only bring about my own unhappiness. From this moment on, I am on my own side. That really struck a chord with me because I feel like for the longest time, I have not been on my own side, especially in terms of my health, my fitness. I've pushed my body way beyond how much I should push it in the past. And it's just, I've been very hard on my body. And as part of my reinvention, I really want to come from a lens of health and wellness, being my own advocate, being my friend, being someone who takes care of myself. I'm on my own side. I have my best interests at heart, and I'm going to do everything that I can to make my health as good as it can be, to make my life as good as it can be. I'm going to be on my own side. That is going to be a huge part of this reinvention, and it makes me a little bit emotional that it's taken me 34 years to get to this point where I actually want to treat myself with compassion. But I'm glad I'm here now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and we will see you next week. Bye.